This isn't your average podcast. From secret government experiments to toxic cover-ups poisoning communities, NewsNation's Natasha Zouves uncovers what the powerful want hidden. The Truth of the Matter with Natasha Zouves. New episodes weekly, wherever you get your podcasts.
Savannah Guthrie is speaking out for the first time, revealing new details about the ongoing investigation into her mother's abduction. Nancy Guthrie was taken from her Arizona home in the overnight hours of February 1st and has not been seen or heard from since. The search spans nationwide. One Milwaukee man now offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of Guthrie's kidnapper. Sunday marks 8 weeks since she was reported missing, and some new details about that day coming to light this week. Here is NewsNation correspondent Brian Enton with more tonight.
Natasha, this interview really is just so heartbreaking. I mean, the agony that Savannah Guthrie is going through, the fact that it's now been almost 2 months since her mom, Nancy, went missing, literally just vanishing from her home outside Tucson in the middle of the night. The 2 back doors were propped open. That's a new piece of information that came from Savannah. Savannah says that her mom was taken in her pajamas without shoes. There was blood found at the front of the house, which we knew. We were able to get video of that soon after all of this happened. But it's still such a mystery. And Savannah says that they don't have much information. From what we know, there are no solid leads. There's been no arrest. Savannah says, though, that she's determined to get through this, leaning on her faith. She's determined not to let this ruin her life.
I will not let whoever did this take my children's mother from them. I will not let them take my joy. They will not take my sister's joy. They will not take my brother's joy. They will not take our love. They will not take our faith. But our anguish is real. We need help. We need someone to tell the truth.
Really just so heartbreaking to hear Savannah Guthrie explain what she's going through, what her family is going through. She does plan, though, to return to the Today Show on April 6th. Natasha.
Yeah, Brian Enton with that tonight. Thank you. And as the search for Nancy Guthrie continues, one key piece of evidence could give us the break in the case we need: DNA. And a new episode of my podcast, The Truth of the Matter, was just posted to NewsNation's YouTube page tonight, looking at if investigative genetic genealogy could hold the key. Here's a preview. The FBI is honing in on key dates in the Nancy Guthrie case. Investigators now asking the public to focus on several specific dates: January 11th, January 24th, and the early morning hours of February 1st, raising new questions about whether the person responsible may have been near her home before she vanished, if there was planning or any digital or biological evidence left behind. I spoke with Mark Garagos. He's a renowned defense attorney known for representing everyone from Sean P. Diddy Combs to Michael Jackson to the Menendez brothers. He's been closely tracking the Guthrie case. This is what he told me.
I think what they've done here, if I had to guess, is they have located some tracking type evidence that suggests that a similar somebody who was in the area weeks before and then 8 days before also corresponds to the night before.
Weeks stretching on and nothing but agony for Savannah and the Guthrie family, continuously asking the public for their help and not to forget.
Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. We need to know where she is. We need her to come home. It is never too late to do the right thing. And we are here. We are in agony. It is unbearable.
Another potential key: investigative genetic genealogy, the technology used to find Brian Kohberger and identify the Golden State Killer. A woman at the forefront of this technique believes it's simply a matter of time before genetic genealogy solves the Guthrie case, and that there can be lessons learned from one of her previous cases, that of 12-year-old Michella Welch. In 1986, she took her 2 little sisters to a park to play in Tacoma, Washington. She left them briefly to make them sandwiches. Her sisters found a restroom, and when they came back, Michella's bike was there, the lunches were there, Michella was not. That night, searchers found her body. The 6th grader had been sexually assaulted and murdered. The case went cold for decades. No one knew who killed her. That was until over 30 years later, police hired CeCe Moore, who solved the crime within hours. Yes, hours, using investigative genetic genealogy. She used a DNA sample from the crime scene to build a family tree, which led her to the killer. Gary Hartman, a psych ward nurse married to a psychologist still living in that same area where he took Michella's life. The confirmation coming after detectives tailed him, getting his DNA from a brown paper napkin at a restaurant. Well, CeCe Moore has solved more than 300 cases, and she believes investigative genetic genealogy will crack the Nancy Guthrie case. Here she is on the Truth of the Matter podcast. What are your overarching thoughts about the Nancy Guthrie case and what genetic genealogy can do here? What are the lessons that you've learned?
If they can get a viable profile from her actual kidnapper, he will be identified through investigative genetic genealogy if no other avenue works. It will happen. I don't even like to think of this, but if there is a second crime scene that is discovered or her, remains, then that gives them another opportunity to find DNA. And so even if for some reason they don't have a viable profile now, it's not that all hope is extinguished because there may be another opportunity.
Are you fairly confident that there is a second crime scene in the Nancy Guthrie case?
I mean, sure, she had to be held somewhere. That alone is a crime, right? If she's kidnapped and held against her will, that place she's being held is a second crime scene. Or if she was deceased, in the car or something, again, that is also what I would call a second crime scene. And so it's just a matter of time before authorities close in on something like that. I really believe that with all the resources given to this case, I find it hard to imagine that there isn't a car out there that has Nancy's DNA and the perpetrator's DNA, or a place where she was held, or an item that has maybe a mixture of Nancy's DNA and the perpetrator's DNA. I mean, we know it's out there. We leave DNA everywhere. Nancy would have left DNA everywhere she was taken, and the perpetrator would have as well. So it's just a matter of finding that. And I believe, these investigators are incredible at their jobs.
Well, CeCe talks about the one thing she wants investigators to do now before it's too late, and more on how she cracked that cold case of the 12-year-old girl, only to find out the killer was in her own family tree. To hear that full conversation, check out the Truth of the Matter podcast. You can use your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, find it on NewsNation's YouTube page right now, or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.